I was sort of dreading the queue, but I knew that it just had to be done, like one of those things that you have to see because it's not going to happen again.
It was worth bearing the cold, it was worth lack of sleep. It's a piece of history in the making.
There are a lot of people who go to exhibitions like this almost as a sort of pilgrimage to make contact with a genius from the past.
It's the quality of the response that's taken me by surprise. The passion behind the response, people coming back more than once, people feeling really that they needed to do this not just because of this extraordinary name, but because they were going to experience something extraordinary. Leonardo talks about love a great deal. He talks about the depiction of the soul, and something in these pictures speaks soul to soul, inspires love. It's very, very difficult to define, but I saw it happening over and over again as I walked around the show and watched people watching. It's the end of a journey that started with conversations 5 years ago. It's been a long process, and a process, I suppose, of learning all the way through.
For us, over the last 3 months, living with these works together in one space, we have learned a great deal. There's a magic that all of a sudden happens when works start talking to each other. One of the highlights of the exhibition was the juxtaposition of the two versions of the Virgin of the Rocks, and we're very fortunate because until a few months before the exhibition we didn't know that we would have the Louvre Virgin here in London.
It's really hard to convey how special the moment was when we had the two pictures in the gallery space. As far as we can surmise, we had an opportunity to see these two pictures together that even Leonardo didn't have. It was interesting to see the similarities and the differences. That's the kind of core of it, because you see most of a painterly career in terms of evolution of how you apply paint, how you think about color, how you handle light. But here you have that within the composition that's relatively identical.
As you are able to look underneath paint layers and things, obviously there are new things to discover, and so much has come out in the course of doing this exhibition.
Before this exhibition and before these studies were undertaken, quite little was known about the actual way in which Leonardo painted, and now we know a great deal more. We know that there were two phases of drawing on this picture. In fact, it went through a radical transformation from an earlier design to the design that you now see. And we also know a great deal about the materials, for example, the pigments he used. So we can provide a very complete description of how this work of art was created.
And I think we have also learned a great deal about how he was working with his workshop, how he collaborated with his students.
For example, the best one, Giovanni Antonio Boltraffio, who was really the most skillful follower and pupil of Leonardo during his first period in Milan. Actually, is a little bit a rediscovery in the show. Now many people know something more about this great painter from Milan.
One painting there where the consensus is, I think, beginning to emerge that Leonardo had the basic idea. Leonardo made perhaps 1 or 2 drawings. Boltraffio made more drawings, and then it was painted by yet another artist.
I chose to exhibit Leonardo's paintings with works by assistants, pupils, collaborators, but also with drawings.
This has been really a unique opportunity to bring together pretty much all of the related drawings by Leonardo for the Last Supper. One of the things we really wanted to do was to be able to show the public, if you like, the process of Leonardo's thinking. The way he started with very rapid, very quick preparatory sketches, and then what happens in the final painting, which our copy shows, is Leonardo created this very choreographed, dramatic composition.
So many other things he was interested in, like the psychology of vision, or the nature of optics, the character of light. All of these things had an impact on his painting, and this exhibition wants to put the painting back into the centre of things.
The Salvator Mundi has been an important discovery. I think is an important point of this exhibition, in the sense that finding a new Leonardo is not something that you can do every day.
All of us at the National Gallery thought very hard indeed about including the Salvator Mundi in the exhibition. Obviously it's a picture that has only just been attributed to Leonardo and it's in private hands. We felt in the end that the case for its attribution to Leonardo was sufficiently strong for this to be the moment where we would put it together with other works to see how people felt.
That one's pretty incredible, to see that, you know, and know that unlike the others that have been in museums and in collections and people have seen for, you know, hundreds of years, this one was thought lost and it's only now being seen. That's a pretty neat feeling.
There is a lot to be learnt still about Leonardo. What I've been amazed by is how profound and layered and endless the viewing experience is. This process of endless revelation, whereby it's almost as if onion layers are being peeled away, and yet you never ever quite get to the core. I think that it's this spiritual quality in Leonardo's work that has raised this exhibition to the event it's been, in the sense that it's not just about the name, it's about something to do with the way in which these pictures speak to people across time.